Hey Virgos, what's going on everybody? It's Am from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you with your mid-October 2022 tarot reading. How are you? I hope y'all are well. And without further ado, we're going to jump on into your reading here, and we shall see what is up. What do we got going on here for Team Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus regarding your mid-October 2022. Let's see what information we have here in store for you. I hope you guys will enjoy today's video. Always do keep in mind it is a general read, so if it happens to resonate, awesome. And if not, then do not apply it. Now, we do have a reversal. Now, usually I don't read reversals for monthlies. I usually keep that as kind of a daily reading thing, but overall energy showing up here for you is going to be the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. Is this deck reversed? No, this deck was upright. So interestingly enough, that came out reversed for you, but Queen of Swords reversed here. Okay. Kind of feels to me like there could be at this time, there could be either somebody in a situation right now that is being dishonest, or this could represent having a hard time detaching. So it can kind of go either way. It could even be a bit of both. It could be that somebody here is being dishonest, but at the same time, Queen of Swords reversed usually tends to represent that detachment is a little bit difficult with whatever it is you're going through. Now, let's go ahead and have a peek here into your current situation. What's going to be Virgo's current situation here regarding mid-October 2022. And we have here the Four of Cups, we have here the Six of Wands, and then we have the Ten of Wands. So you're doing everything you can right now currently, right? To kind of actively avoid somebody. Four of Cups, you know, this is the energy of like, I want to avoid them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to communicate. I want to make sure that I take as much space as possible, but them showing up with the Six of Wands energy too, you could tell they want your attention. So somebody really wants your attention, but you're tuning them out here, Virgo, coming into mid-October. But it definitely seems to hurt when it comes towards tuning them out. And I think that that makes a lot more sense now when we take a look here at the Queen of Swords reversed being the overall energy, because it's like, even though I should cut them off, even though I should be distant from them at this time, whoever this person is, it's so difficult to do it because I care so much. So that's what I think it really comes down to. It's like, it's so hard to detach when I really do care so deeply about somebody, or I care so deeply about a situation. So currently that seems to be the struggle. I definitely feel like you are trying to do your best here with the Four of Cups, because you are ignoring. Four of Cups is ignoring, but it's hard to totally cut it off. You know, it's one thing to ignore a person. It's another thing to actually cut the cord and to completely move it forward. So that really seems to be where the difficulty lies here. Let's see what you're doing about your current situation though. So let's get some information on that. What is Virgo going to be doing about their current situation in mid-October 2022. And keep in mind, whoever this is you're dealing with, it could be anybody. It doesn't just have to be somebody romantic. It could be a friend, family member, a lover. This could be your job that you're having difficulties cutting ties with. But let's have a look here. Taking a look at what you're doing about your current situation. We have the Ace of Swords, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Three of Wands. Ace of Swords coming out here for you. It's like you're consciously trying to remind yourself why you should detach from this situation and how much more stable and better off you'd be, because Four of Wands is a card of stability, but it also represents opening up better doorways for yourself. So it's kind of like you're reminding yourself consistently, you know, it's best to avoid this person, or it's best to avoid this situation. I would do better off without it. I would be in a much more better headspace. It's like, you know, it's the right thing for you probably, in reference to protecting yourself and protecting your energy. You know it would be the right move here to back off of some sort of situation, but it's so hard to do. And then you do got here the Three of Wands as well. And Three of Wands coming into play here, it's like, I think there's a deep part of you that fears too. It's like, I don't know. I feel like no matter how much I try to tell myself this is the right thing, I feel like I'm always going to be waiting for me to take the final step. And the final step would be the Ten of Swords, right? It would be completely cutting out this person, completely cutting out the situation, and fully detaching. You would be turning this Queen of Swords reversed into a Queen of Swords upright. So that is where we're at here so far in mid-October 2022. It does seem to me like there's something in your life that you know that you should detach from and that you should cut out, but you seem to care very deeply for whatever the situation is. And even if you know that you're better off without it, your feelings here seem to be very, very strong, and it's kind of overriding what you know you should do logically. Okay, so that's what I see so far coming into mid-October. Let's go ahead and have a look here though, and take a look and just see what you might not be aware about here this month, and then we'll move forward into a couple of different types of energies for you. So what will my Virgo peeps not be aware about here, or what are some things that they're not aware about that they should be aware about regarding mid-October 2022? Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We did have a card jump out here. That's going to be the Nine of Cups. Moving on forward from that Nine of Cups, what other information do we have here for Virgo? We have the Eight of Cups. And then, oh, well, we got 2 cards, so I'll take it. We do have here the Tower, and we have here the Four of Swords. I feel like what you're not aware about here, Virgo, is actually how good you'd probably feel taking the step here to walk away and to move on. I think that in your head, the way that you feel and the way that you picture it is that if I move on, I'm going to be upset, I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be in despair because I care so much about this situation. But the way that the cards are coming out is like, this is the universe and your guides trying to say, Virgo, you have no idea how good you'll actually feel, how okay you'll actually be. So you fear leaving because you don't know how it's going to affect you mentally, emotionally, so on and so forth. But I think that what your guides are trying to mention here is that, Virgo, it's actually going to work out so well for you. You're going to feel a lot better than expected. So you won't expect to feel this way, but you'll feel good walking out of this, I think. I think it will come as a relief here for you with the Nine of Cups. And then with the Eight of Cups here to the Tower and the Four of Swords, it's like you can finally let a situation lay down to rest and you can finally move forward from something that's been pretty stressful for you to endure. So I think that quite the opposite of what you expect will actually end up happening here if you do decide to fully detach from whatever kind of situation you're dealing with. You know, you could be dealing with a toxic work environment. Maybe you were dealing with a toxic lover. Maybe it's a certain kind of friend you needed to cut off, especially if all they brought forth was nothing but negativity. You know, I think that you're in a space right now where you know that you're probably better off without something. You just can't imagine yourself being better off without it. But the truth is that you will be. I think that's what it really comes down to. And it's going to just have to be, are you ready to end your suffering here? Are you ready to make this detachment permanent? And once you do so, I think that you'll start to see that it's actually not so bad at all. You know, you really feared that it would be, but it's not so bad at all. What is it that's making Virgo scared the most or fearful the most of fully detaching from whatever the situation is? Let's get some quick information on that. What is making Virgo the most nervous or fearful of fully detaching from this situation? Knight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Watching everything that you've worked with not be utilized and be wasted instead. So it's like, let's say if this is a relationship, right? It's like all this work, all this investment that I put into this relationship, it's gone to waste. You know, I put a lot of work into this person. I put a lot of work into this relationship. I put a lot of work into this job. Whatever it is, you put a lot of time, you put a lot of hours into it. And it feels to me like you're in that space where I don't want it to go to waste. I definitely feel like there's a lot of feelings and emotions there. I do feel like you do care for whatever the situation is, but at the same time too, there's kind of this fear of starting from scratch. That's what I feel is coming up here as well for you. Because when we have to start new, whether it's about starting new in love, starting new in your career, then that just means there's a whole lot more work out there waiting for you that you have to get restarted on. So I think that that's another reason why it's a little difficult here to detach for you, Virgo, because it's like, I don't really feel like starting from scratch again, you know, especially in love, you know, having to go through the stage of talking and then going through that stage of talking and getting to know one another and then getting deep and then falling in love and then having our first fight and then having our first kiss. And then it's like, there's a lot that you don't really feel like going through again at this time, which is understandable because you've put a lot here into whatever this is. You know, I feel like if this was a relationship, there's probably been a few years invested. You know, same thing if this was a job. You've been at this job for X amount of years. You know, you've been involved in whatever the situation is in a very, a very, very long time. So I do see that coming up here. And I do understand and can understand why you wouldn't want to let it go so easily because of how much was invested. But it comes back to that message here, right? Of what you're not aware about. It's like, even though you fear that you're going to be missing out, and that everything you've put in was for nothing, once you really do detach here, you are going to be like, I definitely made the right decision. So, of course, take what resonates. You don't have to listen to what I say. You don't have to follow through if it doesn't make sense to you, or if it's not your story, or if you just don't resonate with the words of what I'm saying here for any of you. But I will say, for Virgos, as far as what I'm seeing, if this is your resonating story, I think you are going to realize you're better off without them the moment you do take that moment to officially detach. All right. All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and move along forward. We're going to see what you can expect now throughout the rest of your mid-October. So let's go ahead and jump into that. What can my Virgo peeps now expect throughout the rest of their mid-October 2022, please? Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What can they expect throughout the rest of their second half of the month? Starting out here with the first card, we do have the Judgment. Moving along from that Judgment, we have the Six of Swords. We also have here the Two of Pentacles. And then lastly for you, we have the Five of Wands. So taking a look at what you can expect here, navigating throughout the rest of your month, we start out with the Judgment here in the Six of Wands, in the Six of Swords. So deciding to take a chance on moving forward is definitely going to leave you at first feeling pretty indecisive if you made the right choice or not. You know, you have the Two of Pentacles coming into play following that Six of Swords and that Judgment. Two of Pentacles usually represents feeling up and down, feeling like things are kind of left in the air, wondering, did I make the right decision here? So it feels like at first it's going to be pretty difficult to overall detach, but I see many of you moving in that direction nonetheless. But then you're going to get to a point where you realize, Five of Wands, is this whole situation really worth the struggle? And what I mean by that, Virgo, is that as you find yourself doing everything you can to detach completely from this person, you start to think about the struggles that you endure when you fought for this person instead. You now start to see a little bit of a pattern. It's like, well, when I was fighting for them, I was struggling. As I'm now starting to detach from them, I'm struggling. So why is it always struggle with this person? Or why is it always struggle with the situation? Because if I'm struggling fighting for it and struggling detaching from it, and all I've known lately from the situation is struggle, is the struggle initially worth it? Is it essentially worth it? So you start to realize it doesn't matter what it is you're doing now, this situation is bringing constant struggle, constant conflict, and constant negative energy. And that right then and there is where I think you're really going to make up your mind overall. Once you get to this Five of Wands space, when you realize all it is always is just a struggle, that's kind of what pushes you in the direction where you say, okay, it's time to make this official. You know, it's time to take the Queen of Swords in reverse and make the Queen of Swords upright. It's time to totally detach here, because I don't always want to be dealing with the struggling and conflicting kind of energy. So I do see you having that epiphany here once you reach that Five of Wands, and most likely coming into the ending of the month here, in the ending of mid-October, you're going to realize, okay, I am better off without them. Let's take these steps to detach, okay? So you're going to take those steps here, and I think that once you officially do, everything's going to be a-okay. It's definitely going to play here to your benefit. Let's have a look here at the overall outcome. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, throughout mid-October 2022. What is going to be the overall outcome here, please, for the zodiac sign of Virgo? Let's take a look. And what do we have? We have here the Two of Wands. Interesting. Two of Wands actually came out in the pre-shuffle for you. And here's what I like so much about the Two of Wands. You know, if you look very closely, you can see that there's one wand that's behind this woman. So the wand that's behind her, that is what you don't necessarily care about. But the wand that's in front of her, the one that she has her hand on, and then in her other hand, she's holding a globe over here, those wands represent what deep down inside you've always known is the right path for you to take, what deep down inside you've always wanted to do about your situation. So what the Two of Wands says here for the outcome is that, yeah, you were stuck for a while, because Two of Wands represents being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So Two of Wands showing up here represents, yeah, you've been stuck on what to do. Should I stay? Should I go? But deep down inside, you always knew here, right? The woman's holding this staff, the woman's holding this world card. You know, she always knew deep down inside what she really wanted to do. And I think that that's going to be the realization you're having here for the outcome in mid-October. It's like, even though I said I was stuck on what I should do, deep down below, I always knew that I would be better off without this situation. So now you're starting to tap in and listen to what your inner being is telling you, what your higher self is telling you. And it's essentially what you've been telling yourself all along. You know, so I definitely feel that with the outcome showing up here for you, you are going to go into that mode where you do fully detach here. Like I said, you're going to turn a Queen of Wands, or sorry, I keep saying Wands. You're going to turn a Queen of Swords in reversed here into a Queen of Swords upright. And you are fully going to detach from this situation because you're realizing that it's just no longer worth it. And I've always known that I should. I've always known that I was better off without this. And considering that I've always known that, maybe I should listen to my true deep feelings here that were always telling me that, you know? So I see it fully happening here in mid-October 2022. And I think it's going to work to your benefit. As I mentioned here, 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups, Tower, 4 of Swords. Laying the situation to rest is going to be the best thing to happen because you're going to feel so much relief from it and you're going to feel so freaking free from it overall. Okay, so Virgo, And that's what I got in store here for y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really do appreciate it. As far as what I'm seeing here for your mid-October, this is what I got. And as previously mentioned, it can resonate towards any situation, whether it was work related, whether it was your job, your friends, your family, or anything else at all. I just feel like you've put a lot into a situation. And I do feel like for many of you, it was probably like years. You could have put years into something. And, you started to come to the conclusion here of like, it doesn't matter if I fight for it. It doesn't matter if I try to detach. It's always a struggle. And that is when you realize that the struggle is not worth it, because I don't want whatever I'm dealing with in my life to always be a struggle. I want something that just flows perfectly. I want something that's happy, that's loving, that's amazing, that's beautiful, and doesn't have to be a constant moment where I'm dealing with nothing but struggling types of energy, such as the 10 of Wands. So Virgo, you're going to be keeping it popping, pushing, moving forward this month. But as previously mentioned, it does appear to me that it will be working to your benefit. All right, Virgos, I love you all very much. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's super duper appreciated. If you are new here, do consider subscribing. If it doesn't resonate, no worries. You can check out any future videos that I post or any other awesome tarot readers on the YouTube platform. But with that being said, Virgo, much love to you, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, Virgo, take care and peace.